We're going to take a closer look at part of our land that has an abandoned vineyard and share with you what we've learned since now living in a winery. Welcome to the abandoned vineyard. So we think this vineyard must have been last worked maybe 5-6 years ago. So abandoned, as you can see, it's overgrown, there's vines missing, the vines are unmaintained. Although the hope is that you can still see there's some grape growth on these vines. So this is the vineyard that sits in front of the house, and it's about 1,500 square meters. So this is the area we think that maybe we can do something with in the future. But you know, it's this current state is just overgrown, missing vines. We don't know whether the plants will regrow. So all these things to look forward to see if we can bring this thing back to life is quite exciting. But yeah, this is what an abandoned vineyard looks like, and this is ours now. The vineyards have around 12 of these rows, which are marked out with these concrete stakes, and the concrete stakes are here to put the guide wires along. So in this, we've got kind of 4 guide wires. So then obviously the vines are spaced along the rows, and we have, I'll go to a good example of a vine. So then we have the main trunk of the vine. The main trunk of the vine is known as the heart, and every February, March, the plant is at its dormant level, and the plant gets basically pruned back to 1 or 2 canes, and those canes are then attached to the bottom guide wire. So the guide wire forms a part of what they call the training system. So in this design, the training system is called the Giulio design. And what that design is there is to get the plant to grow along the guide wire and up. And so that encourages the plant to spread along this frame, and that's to provide the best coverage, leaf coverage, to create a canopy for the grapes, which balances the protection from weather, so the sun and the rain, but also allows a lot of light in for that fruit to grow. So after obviously the pruning, over the spring and the summer, the plant is left to grow. Some vineyards are heavily maintained, some are minimal intervention, and basically it's up to the weather, the plant, and as the Italians say, the man in the sky. And then around September is the earliest, that's when the harvest will happen, and that's when the fruits of your labour come true. So living in a winery, we've got to see obviously the everyday process that goes into producing wine, and it's really sparked our curiosity about what we could do ourselves. It seems a very complex process, but it comes with calmness. It comes with being out in nature every day and just really enjoying the surrounds and just seeing the passion that goes in with the craftsmanship that we have in the vineyard that we're in at the moment. Yeah, it's just, and the results and the enjoyment of wine at the end of the day, I think is just be so special and magical if we could have our own wine in our new house here in Piemonte, and really celebrate the local grape varieties that they have here. So that's Barbera mainly in this region. We also have Nebbiolo and Arnaise. So potentially we could look at growing some different grape varieties in in our own vineyards here. So it's pretty exciting to be able to have our own space directly in front of our house that potentially I can work just myself and have be out in nature every day, interacting with this beautiful fruit and plants.
When we lived in Australia, we used to go every year for about a week down to a place called Margaret River. Margaret River, years ago, was just a beach shack, mainly for surfers, but over time it's turned into this wonderful wine-loving food mecca of Western Australia. And we used to go there for holidays to enjoy the food, enjoy the wine, and visit vineyards like this. Well, not quite like this. And I find it quite surreal that we now own a vineyard and that we're going to grow our own wine here. I keep pinching myself actually, because I used to think, you know, that's something that we would look forward to and go away for on vacation. And now we live in this, surrounded by this beautiful countryside. It's quite magical, really.
So next up, we obviously need to complete the sale of the house, but this could potentially be one of our first tasks that we can actually take on personally. We'll get some help from our local winemaking friends to come and have a look at the current vines. Obviously they're old, they've been abandoned for some time. So whether these can actually be saved and if we can hopefully get them pruned back in March and then have our first harvest in 2026, which is super exciting. So look forward to our journey of cultivating this abandoned vineyard over time. Ciao for now.